observations of Coach Rule and how you've obviously been with him for a long periods of time. He's talked this year about being able to be hands off because of the trust that he has in Dana and in John and having you around. What are your observations of that and the way he goes about his business?
Well, there's certain standards that Matt's he's going to require and demand from us. And it's really the quality in which we play, how physical and fast, and that we know and do our jobs, right? That's not going to change with Coach Rule. I mean, it doesn't matter who the coordinators here are or who I am. He's going to demand that. And so really, I don't see any difference in him right now.
What stands out to you about those younger coaches, as you said, you're mentoring?
Well, they're all going to be, but most of them will probably be coordinators or head coaches. I mean, they're really quality people and coaches. But, I grew up where the older coaches mentored the younger coaches. And I think there's a lot of coaches today that don't do that anymore. And I think it's my job to do that. Whatever I've learned over the years that I see can make them better as a teacher, I think it's my obligation to help them. And so the older coaches helped me when I was that age, and I should do the same for them. So those are the types of things I try to do with the younger coaches.
What things are you doing with them to
Well, it's like teaching, right? We can all get better at teaching. I'll give you an example. I was the defensive coordinator at Arizona State. Bruce Snyder was the head football coach. And he came in my meeting one day. And he left and after the meeting, and he said, "Phil, can I talk to you after practice?" So I went in, and he said, "Outstanding meeting, but you wasted 5 minutes." And I said, "How'd I do that, Coach?" He said, "Well, you drew formations. You had to stop the meeting and draw a formation on the board. Instead of having an overlay where you could click to that and there's the formation. You wasted about 5 minutes." I mean, those are the details it takes to be really good at what you do. It's like how you set up a meeting. It should be all outlined on the board so they can write it down and know exactly what the meeting is going to be about. All right, and the details. And if they don't get them, they can go back to that outline and ask the coaches later. So there's a lot of things I can help them with. Details on the field, how to coach, don't talk too much on the field. All those little things that I've learned over the years, and those are the things I try to help them with.
I know in the spring you told us you were really impressed with Coach Ekeler and the way he teaches. He's coming in here. How have you seen the guys just respond to him and that special teams operation as you get ready for the season here?
Mike's fantastic coach. I mean, the way he teaches, he's around the players all day. He has an office, I don't know if you know this, upstairs with us and then down by the weight room. So he's around the players all the time, and you need to as a special teams coach. I mean, really, guys, they get to know everybody on the team because they utilize all of them. So he's done a fantastic job in our special teams. I'm anxious to watch him when we start the season.
Phil, why do you think Matt's teams have made a jump in their progression when they get to around this time and his stays at places he's been?
There's a process that he does, and it's not easy. And I'll give you an example. We went to Baylor, and Art Briles was one of the best coaches in football, but he did things dramatically different than we did. And Matt was a hell of a coach. So different ways of doing it. So you got to bring everybody together and now flip that. All right. And so, it takes time. A lot of the things that Coach Rule believes in and demands takes time. And you can see this team doing it. When Coach Rule, like we got on the defense the other day about not running the football, and Coach Rule came in the meeting. I mean, they are just tied to him, to his hip. I mean, whatever he says, they're going to go out and do and believe. So that takes time. And the relationships and all that. And that's why I think the third year, Matt's teams have taken a big jump.
How challenging has it always been to be a good tackling team in week one of a season, and especially now with the practices, full pads limited more?
Yeah, I think it's tough tackling anyway because you watch these young players, everything is 7-on-7, and the mentality is not real football, right? It's all this other stuff when they're younger. So just to get players to tackle anyway is tough. But like you said, the first ball game, what you'll notice is missed tackles, turnovers, and special teams. big plays on special teams. Those are the three areas that normally determine the first game. So you're right. And we've been doing a lot of tackling, especially with pads on.
When you want to tell guys, hey, here's the guy you should watch tackle, who on this team is tackling well right now?
Well, okay, I would tell you this, that the veteran players run better angles and they fit better. They just understand football better. But guys, everybody in this room, if you played football, you're going to have a loaf and you're going to turn down a hit at some point. We're all human beings, right? But what we're trying to do is eliminate all those. And so if the players, all right, if it's coming from the players about the physicality of this game and the effort, not from the coaches, but the players take ownership, then you get all that as good as it can be. But guys, there's always going to be somebody turn down a hit or a missed tackle, right? But if we're flying to the football and you miss a tackle, all right, there's 2 or 3 other guys standing there. So those are the goals right now.
Curious what you've seen from Coach Braden and what he's been doing with this defensive line.
Well, I love Terry. Terry's got a lot of energy, and he's got the toughest job on our staff because Rule's a D-line guy. So, Matt comes in, but I think Terry and Coach Rule are getting along real well, and I see progress in every one of those young guys because, guys, we're really young at D-line, and we have a lot of players with 3 and 4 more years that are going to be really good players here. So Terry's doing a great job.
Speak to the benefit of then being able to kind of craft those players the way you want them, that Terry's able to do.
What's so hard about college football today is, look out, guys, our secondary, the veterans in our secondary, do you know this is their 4th DB coach? And that's college football now. Players are leaving, and so are coaches. So, I don't know what coach is going to be here next year or what player is going to be here. That's the world we're living in. So what we've got to do is bring them together, all right, mold them and get them as good as we can. But to answer your question, anytime you can have a player 3 or 4 or 5 years, you can really develop them, especially that second year, boy, they start playing, and then the 3rd year they're dominant. In the old days at Nebraska, you didn't play here until your 3rd year. Very few people played the 1st and 2nd year. That's just the way football used to be. But it's changed.
You've seen Coach Rule evolutionize himself as a coach, dealing with everything you just talked about with players leaving and coaches leaving consistently.
Fantastic. Matt has adjusted. You guys have followed Matt. He's adjusted how he's recruiting. He's adjusted to everything. You got to keep adjusting in this game. And that's what I always respected about Coach Saban at Alabama. He was a guy that was firm, set in his ways, but didn't he change? He changed to the spread on offense. Then he adapted to all this recruiting, the NIL. You just have to do it, and Coach Rule just doing a fantastic job along with his staff.
Anything else for Coach? You kind of have a global perspective on the defense in terms of just like the roster, and it's young, but just its athletic components. What do you see and like about the athleticism and the size and the speed of the roster?
Yeah, there's plenty of talent here, but the young guys got to keep developing. I tell the young guys all the time, I said, because this is what happens to them. They see right now, I'm not going to play this year. So what do? You think they come to practice like they should? No. So it's my job to get them to come and work every single day. So when it is their turn next year, they're ready. Otherwise, you're going to lose all that development over the next 6 months. So we just got to keep developing, and that's Coach Rule's philosophy. Get really good athletes, develop them, keep them, and you have a player 3 or 4 years, you got a pretty doggone good player.
John Butler kind of embrace this transition to defensive coordinator here and the guys buying into him in that role?
Coach Butler's really bright. He's tough. He's competitive. It's like anything else, though. He's been in the league the last 8 years, right? So there's always adjusting, and he's adjusting all the time, too. He's doing a fantastic job.
Anything else? Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
Well, that was quick.
You get as much of a kick out of Archie as the head coach does?
Man, that guy's special. I mean, he truly is. I mean, 18 years old, leaves home for the first time, goes to a different country, leaves his family, which he's unbelievably close to. And what Coach said about him is everything is accurate. I mean, that guy knows every one of his teammates, and his teammates love him because the energy he brings in the building, not just because he's able to do what he can do with the football, but the guy's special. And I said it the last place I was at, and I'll say it about Arch. The guy's gonna be a damn weapon. And you got to understand this: in punting, special teams in general, every punt he hits isn't going to be a 55, 60 yarder. He'll miss hit one. That's going to happen. And when it does, I'll take it. All right, but I'm telling you, when you look up at the end of the year with his body of work, you're going to go, holy cow, this guy is the real deal.
What do you make of your coach mentioned several times the other day that he has not played in a football game. So how do you think that knowing what you know about his personality, competitiveness, how does that work on August 28th for him to walk out at Arrowhead Stadium?
Well, when you think about it, last year is in the SEC. 14 of 16 punters in the SEC came from Australia, from Pro Kick. And I've known Johnny, who runs Pro Kick, for 22 years. Years ago, we had one at LSU. We had one at North Carolina. So, I mean, I've been a part of having a bunch of Australian punters. None of those guys have played a game of football. They may have played professionally, like the last one I had, Jackson Ross played professionally for a handful of years, Australian rules football, but none of them have played American football. So I don't worry about it. And truly, I mean, I've been through this. It's not my first rodeo. So, you know, being able to take all that, the information and all the training from my past and how we've trained Archie, I mean, I'm beyond confident with him.
What is the adjustment like just with a live rush for him? Obviously, he's never played football. Just getting used to live rushers attacking a punter, is that an adjustment for an Australian guy?
Oh, think about it. I mean, you got guys coming at you in helmets and shoulder pads, and you're standing back there 15 yards deep, and yeah, it's an adjustment. But since the day he got here, we went through OTAs at the end of spring, and we punted every day. And so that was his spring practice. And it was really his Coach Rule's idea, and it was a fantastic idea because we came in, number one, it integrated him to the team. Number two, got him used to it. Granted, we weren't in pads. And then we go out here first day in pads, and we're bringing the heat. And yesterday, we went backed up, brought everybody. And so he's felt it now. But go back to how he's trained, right? Those guys are trained to run around, scan the field to players coming to tackle them, and kick the ball. I mean, that's what he's trained to do. So you can really incorporate a lot of what he's done in the past to what he's doing right now.
You got two offices?
I do. Yeah.
How you want that one near the lake?
Well, I mean, I love that. That was actually Coach Rule's idea, to go down there because that's where our players are. I mean, they're on the first floor. We're up on the third floor. So a lot of times I'm down there and we sort the film so they can come in. It might take them 5 minutes and they can watch every play in special teams that they were on in practice. And so it gives you an opportunity to get really connected, really get to know these guys, and to individually coach them when you're not in the meetings. And so it really works well.
Can you walk us through how you first were introduced to Archie and your first impressions that made you believe that he could be a good fit here?
Well, full disclosure, he was going to be our next guy, the last place I was at. And so I kind of had him for sitting there for a little bit, just to be honest with you. And I've known about him for quite a while. And absolutely, positively, everything about him was what we were looking for.
Corey shared that he's going to lead the nation, either punt return or kick return. Just what excites you about his mentality and adding him to the special teams unit?
My personality Like, I don't go to Vegas, okay? Because if I played blackjack, I'd push all the chips in the middle. So I respect that. And y'all are sitting here, I would expect to be the best journalist in the country. We don't go out there to mess around. So for him to come up and say, I'm gonna lead the country, I mean, I ought to be his mentality. That's my mentality. You know, and it comes back to our head ball coach. I mean, think about if I was in a dark alley, okay, and there's 4 guys coming at me, I could pick one head ball coach to be with me. It'd be our guy. I'd say, Coach Rule, you got those 3, I got that one. We'd be just fine.
For a second, not many guys have the enthusiasm as he does for special teams, just going out there like he does, cheering on everybody. Do you know where that comes from, and what about that mentality with him excites you?
Go back to doing this for 23 years. First question NFL scouts ask, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much does he love the game? That's who he is. I mean, if there's an 11, he's an 11. I mean, when he was a little kid, I'm sure out in the backyard, they didn't have to twist his arm to go out there and play ball. I'm sure he was the kid rounding up everybody in the neighborhood and getting them ready to roll. So, I mean, he just loves the game. I love that. I respect that about him. And not only does he love it, he respects the game. You respect the game by going out and playing your his A off. And that's what he does every day.
Coach Rule mentioned that Marshall, Benning, Barney, and Mosey have been returning some kicks, and he said he may have forgotten somebody. Is there anybody besides them, and how are you liking that group?
I love the group. And really, those are the main guys on punt return. And then we've got another group on kickoff return. But love our guys, love our group. And shoot, we're going to need a bunch of guys. And last year we led the nation. We had 4 different returners. And so, I mean, it's, you know, you gotta have some bullets, and you gotta have guys. We got guys who want to be back there, and they're catching all kinds of punts, which is phenomenal. I think Coach Rule made note of that the other day. So we're getting a ton of reps, a ton of experience, and I'll say it again: we're going to be aggressive. And if our players, if we go out and we make a mistake on special teams, I want you to write this: X stinks. All right, it's on me. All right? I want our guys. Told them they can't make a mistake. They cannot make a mistake. The only mistake they could make is not making a full speed decision. That's it. We're going to go out. We're going to play with their damn hair on fire. And at the end of the year, when we look up, we're not going to go game by game. Some games, you got an opportunity on special teams to make a huge impact. But I know this from doing this a long time, if you try and force things on special teams, that's when you get in trouble. So you might go out there and we might return a couple punts for a touchdown. And then next game, they might kick everyone out of bounds. Don't get an opportunity, don't get a pitch to hit, right? Same thing, but it's about executing every time you're on the field. That's why we start every meeting and break every meeting down with 1 shot, 1 kill. You got 1 play. This is not offense. You don't have 3. You're not guaranteed 3 unless you give the ball away or score, right? It's not defense, same as. You got 1 shot to go out there. You got 1 shot to kick a field goal. And there's 33, 33, 34. That's what we preach. 33% is on the snap, 33% is on the hold, 34% is on the kick. You can't really get to the 34 if the other 66 is not in line, right? So everybody's got a job to do. And if that job is not done well, I won't point a finger, I'll point a thumb. And that's the way we're going to do it. So again, at the end of the year, when we look up, we're all going to be smiling. But we're not going to ride a damn wave around here. And there's no curse. Only curse I know is we freaking making game-winning field goals where I've been. And our guys are confident. Our guys are going to play their tails off. And Like I said, they got a free pass, man.
Can you size up that kicker battle right now with Cunanan and Hole and the guys you have there?
Yeah, we're gonna. I won't get into where everybody's at, other than I'll just say this: at the end of next week, we'll name a guy, you know, and we'll roll. And we got a close battle right now. They've all done some nice things, and again, we're gonna need all three of them. So it's not you know where you start, it's where you finish, right?
How have you tried to communicate that mentality that you just talked about when maybe special teams has not had the most success here lately?
I don't use that word. Try. WTH? I thought Archie told you that. Wishing, trying, and hoping, right? We don't use those words. What we do, right, we're grown men. What we do, right, is we work every single day. And when you work and you put it on film and players see that what you're doing works, you gain confidence. You gain confidence by going out there and having success. And that's what we're going to do.
How would you evaluate this snapping right now? Just evaluating the snapping situation.
We're not exactly where we want to be right now, but we don't need to be. I mean, the objective is we're chasing perfection, right? It's a never-ending race. You're always chasing it, and so we've got room for improvement, and we're going to improve. But I like what both our guys are doing, and then Wacker's working as a third and doing a nice job.
In your experience, what makes a good return man?
Well, to me, it's a little bit different. You have your punt returners and your kickoff returners. And I've always said this. I mean, it was an old saying that I heard years ago. You know, a punt returner is truly like a fart in a skillet. I mean, that guy's just, he's gone, you know. He's one cut, make you miss. Think about this. You're back there returning a punt, right? There's 22 players on the field, right? 21 of them are running at you. Your own guys and 21 are running at you. And so there's different levels, and there's different, you know, they're spread out, there's levels, and you want to make sure that you understand the leverage of the return. But I tell our guys, you're like Picasso. I'm not back there. You got to paint the picture. It may be designed to go inside, and by nature of what happened during the play, you can take that thing to the field and go score. Go do it. So again, they can't be wrong. But you gotta be that guy. You gotta be like an outfielder, a center fielder who can track the ball, who wants to go get that thing, right? And our saying on punt return is, get it started, man. Just get it started. And our objective, we want to lead the country in punt returns, the number of returns. And then at the end of the year, we'll look up, and you want to average 10 yards or more. So every time you return a ball, you're giving your offense a first down. So instead of starting on the 30, you're on the 40, 40, you're on the 50, right? And that's what we were able to do the last place I was at. And it won a bunch of games for us. Going on, kickoff return is a different deal. Kickoff return, it goes back to Days of Thunder, where he's going around the corner and there's the wreck in front of him and all he sees is smoke. Remember that scene? And, his pit man saying, drop the hammer. You got to be able to run through the smoke. You got to drop the hammer and run through the damn smoke on kickoff return. So it takes a little bit different guy there.
Mike, have you seen a progression among the specialists in the special teams coverage and return units to take on the intensity and mentality that you bring to special teams through this since you got here in February up until now?
It's been phenomenal, to be honest with you. I mean, our team, and it goes back to our head coach, we probably have the most disciplined team in America. I mean, these guys are taking notes in every meeting. We put up a depth chart. We go out on the field, and everyone's exactly where they're supposed to be. We talk about a technique, and we show it up on film. We walk through it. We go do it live. and it's magic. I mean, these guys do it right, but that's not what I've done. I mean, I've taught them, right? But the infrastructure, right, that I walked into was amazing. And it goes from the head ball coach, and then it goes, our strength coach, Corey Campbell's best I've been around. I mean, just the whole, so many different levels. So I'm just beyond excited. I'm excited to get out there and see these guys put it on tape.
Talking about playing with hair on fire, is there a guy or two that is leading by example in that? We always ask you about the return men and the kickers. Is there someone else who's really leading that way and behind the scenes a little bit?
Man, there's a ton of guys out there that, there's probably 10 guys that I could name off, or maybe even more. I mean, it goes back to that culture piece, right? When I can't pick out one guy. I mean, there's so many guys, I'd feel bad giving you a couple names because there's so many guys that are doing exactly what we're asking them to do. And going back to your point right here, and this is just my belief, there's no such thing as leading by example. That society's made that up, right? There's 3 components to leadership. Number 1, you got to uphold the standard. Number 2, you got to hold your teammates accountable. Number 3, you got to want to. So leading by example, that's just called doing your job, right? Leadership's a contact sport. You got to open up your mouth and tell your buddy, pick it up, right? So that's what I think we've got, and Coach Rule does an amazing job. I walked into this.
What makes you speak so highly of Corey Campbell and your impressions of him?
Man, the way he relates to our players, the way he trains our players. You can have great relationships with players and whatnot, and they can like you, think you're cool, whatever. But if you can't develop them and teach them, ultimately at the end of the day, you're worthless to them. This guy's got it all. I mean, he's able to take guys, make them bigger, stronger, faster. He's able to take guys and instill the discipline that Coach Rule wants. All of it. I mean, he's just a complete coach. And our players respect the heck out of him because they know every time they walk in that weight room, they're getting better. That's the whole key to what we do. If you have that and that it factor, not many people do. And he got it in spades.
Was really good. You came in. What have you seen that maybe you brought from other jobs here to up-level Nebraska?
Boy, that's kind of a subjective question on that. But I don't know. I believe that I'm a little bit different in the fact that I've had some very unique experiences. And with my experience for 23 years on the defensive side and coaching inside linebackers, which is kind of like coaching the quarterbacks of defense, the techniques of block destruction, the ability to understand and teach time and space, ball-me-man relationships, those things that's what I have my PhD in on the defensive side, the block destruction piece. And then being able to flip that around and understand how to combat it with blocking, because that's all this game's about, right? I mean, 95% of the time, you're either in block destruction mode, going to make a play on the ball, or you're blocking somebody. Only other times if you got the ball in your hand or you're getting the ball in your hand. So it's able to teach those base fundamentals and conceptually get our guys to understand have great field awareness of ball-me-man relationships in the time and space. I think that maybe that's probably one of my strengths. I don't know if I brought it, but I mean, that's kind of who I am.
You gonna get a chance to use Vincent Shavers on special teams at all?
Yeah, all those guys are open. I mean, coach is like, hey, coach told me, he's like, the objective's to be the best. That's the standard. And so go do it.
You know, it's just some coordinators are like, I want to use a lot of starters. Others coordinators are like, this is an opportunity for somebody who isn't a starter. But how do you kind of sort that out? Just the best guys for each year?
Yes and no. I think I told you last time, but for the last 4 years, I mean, we didn't play one starter. And we didn't not only play one, I mean, it was true freshmen, walk-ons. That's what we played with, right? Here, and I think there's a great balance. I mean, if you have a star receiver, for example, and he's maybe right just a little bit better than a guy, you know, on punt return coming off the edge or doing a certain job or kickoff return, I would prefer to play the younger guy. Leave some tread on his tire, get that guy involved in the game, right? Get him that game experience. So if it's close, I want to go with that. I want to go with that younger guy. And I want to go, but, you know, not with the expense. If there's a big gap, no, I'm not doing that. So that's kind of.
Coach? Thank you.
I appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dane, I know you're newer here, but what did it mean just to get voted to get the single digit jersey your first year?
Yeah, it was something really special that just knowing that all my teammates just welcomed me in, and it's a true brotherhood here, and they saw what I came in and did and just went straight to work, and I feel like everybody on the team just respected that, and to know that my teammates have my back and they respect me so much, it's just, there's no greater feeling.
You wore 6 at Kentucky, right?
Yes.
Is there a special reason for 6?
No, you know, when I first got there, that was the number that I kind of wanted. They asked me if I wanted a specific number when I got there, and number 2 was open, and that's what my brother wore all of college. But I kind of just told them I kind of wanted to have my own path, and so that's the number that I picked.
Dane, we can see a little bit of the relationship that you have with Coach Rule already in the video from yesterday. Can you speak about that and just, you know, how you feel about him as a head coach, having just been around him now for a few months?
Yeah, Coach Rule, he's taught me so much, not only football, he's taught me so much just about being a better man. Coach Rule, you know, he's very demanding, and those are the type of things that I really wanted coming into this program. I knew he was going to be demanding. I knew he was going to expect your best every day. So I've learned so much of being a football player, but more of being a man from Coach Rule.
What's an example of something that, you know, he has asked of you from a detailed standpoint that was maybe challenging initially, but you appreciate the fact that
Yeah, I've never been demanded of so much effort from a coach before. And, you know, I already have Coach Shorts, so he already demands so much, but when there's 2 people demanding the most out of you because they know what you can do and they know what you can be in the future, why would you want it any other way?
Does he just say that stuff at practice?
Yeah, I mean, it's all day. He sees you tired and walk into a meeting, he's gonna jump right on you like, why are you tired? Sorry, Coach, I didn't mean to.
Hey, Dane, what excites you the most about playing in Memorial Stadium September 6th?
Next question, please. No, I'm kidding. You know, I'm just super excited. I see videos, and, you know, this is definitely one of the best atmospheres that I've seen before. So I'm just super excited to play there. I already see it with the fans, you know, just walking around Lincoln. Everybody's super nice. Everybody's just welcoming. If anything goes bad, there's somebody here in Lincoln is willing to help you. And, you know, I just can't wait for that experience.
How has your relationship with Dylan grown since you've gotten here?
I mean, it's grown tremendously. I'm staying at his house right now. How much it's grown. You know, it's just he's my brother. At the end of the day, he wants what's best for me. I want what's best for him. If I'm not doing what I need to do, he's the first one to check me. If he's not doing what he needs to do, I'm the first one to check him.
Was it your idea moving into his house? Or?
It was kind of just mutual. I live ways away, so he lives closer. So I was like, "Yo, let's just do it." He was like, "Why haven't you done it already?"
Hey, Dane, what jumps out about this receiver room? You played in the SEC a long time, and you're newer with this group here. I mean, what jumps out when you kind of look at this group of receivers you'll be playing with this year?
Yeah, you know, it's a very good room. It's a very demanding room. I didn't have the best day of practice today, but you know, some of those guys they haven't played many snaps as me, but they're the first ones to get on me. So, you know, just having that in the room, just a very demanding room of, yo, you say you want to do this, then you should be doing this. And, like, it don't matter how you're feeling that day. You've said what you want to do, so go do that.
What do you think of Andrew Marshall when you're in that boundary corner?
Yeah, Andrews, he's a really good corner. Personally, I think he'll be one of the best that I play this year. And, you know, playing the best corner every day of practice can only get me better, and it's going to get me ready for the season.
What's challenging about going against him? What's he good?
You know, I don't really want to say everything that he does because I feel like a team might end up seeing this. I just know Andrew, he's really good. He's one of those people that you gotta come to work every day because, you know, you see who you line up across every day.
Dane, is Dylan your ride home too? Is that why he's hanging?
Here and there, I think we drove separate yesterday. We did ride together today though.
Hey, Dane, what does Ja'Cory add to your group?
Yeah, a very explosive football player. no matter what he's asked to do, JaCorey will go out there and do it at 100% because, you know, that's just the type of guy he is. He knows he's a fast receiver, so he's going to go out there and play fast with everything that he does.
And then also, what have you seen from Cortez Mills?
Cortez Mills, yeah, he's unstoppable. You know, he's just a ball player. I just love to see that young kid go out there and do what he knows how to do.
Where have you seen yourself grow the most, just since you got on campus to now?
Definitely my mindset. Just being with Coach Rule, Coach Shorts, Andrew Verbois. Like, I told each and every one of those coaches what I want to do this year, and they're holding me to that standard. Like I said, didn't have the best practice today, but, you know, first ones to jump on me. Dylan was right there behind him. So, you know, just the mindset that you have to be here. You have to be mentally strong, you know, every day with how you attack every situation of practice, meetings, workouts. You have to attack everything that you do.
What do those goals look like?
Yeah, I don't want to say too many, but I know I'm going for 1,000 yards this year, and it's going to come true.
Anything else?
Thank y'all. Thank you.
What was it about Coach Ekeler and this place that drew you here?
Well, he said it pretty early on that there's going to be a great system I'm not going to get forced into doing anything I'm not comfortable with, and it really fitted my skill set. And, I mean, overall, it's the coach and the people in the program that make the program what it is, so that just told me this was the place to be.
Can you describe a little bit about that process? Coach X said that he had his eye on you for a while at Pro Kick. How does that work in Australia? Do you know where you're being matched before the end, and just like what was that process like for you to then end up matched here?
Yeah. To be honest, if I'm at Pro Kick practicing, you really don't know where you're going until you know the school. And there's a couple cases where some people would have a school and then it would fall through, but Coach Ekeler, to my belief, is the only coach who would see me kick, and I think that Pro Kick knew that his coaching and his style was the right skill set for me, and then they kind of worked it out a fair bit behind my back, and then Coach John Smith just came up to me one morning and was like, "Hey Archie, you're going to Nebraska?" And I was like, "Cool."
Did he see you? He come there to Melbourne and see you?
No, so he'd seen videos, and then there was like a live FaceTime, so he'd seen me kick live, so I couldn't just show him my highlights. He saw live where there was the chance of stuff up, so it wasn't a fluke.
What did you know about the state of Nebraska at all before you came here?
Well, I got really into like the college football side of things, the country, because I was like, I knew I was going to be coming here, so I actually had a fair grasp. I didn't know the ins and outs of the state, but I knew Lincoln, I knew the stadium, I knew the program, so yeah, I wasn't completely oblivious to where I was going to be living for the next 4 years.
How many other kickers do you know that can kick with both feet? How common is that? What goes into that for you?
Well, in Australia, like playing Australian rules, it is a skill that can be useful if you're running away from someone. It's good to be able to kick it on both feet, and not everyone. Some people, I'd say, give it a crack and have it as maybe a skill to be able to use, but not like as a weapon, and then some people really ignore it. So, I mean, it's not uncommon to see someone who can use both feet, but to use it at the level that's kind of needed to be used in the college football system, it's not too common.
When did you know that could be a skill of yours and that you wanted to develop both feet?
Well, growing up, I always practiced it. Using my right foot to make sure I had it just in case. And then 3 or so years ago, I had just an ankle injury on my left foot, nothing major. Don't get concerned. And I was like, I can run, I can jump, but I can't kick on my left foot for a couple of weeks. So I was like, okay, I can kick on my right. And then I already had a good base set up, and I was like, I mean, may as well use this chance to really develop it and make it something that's actually a standout, not just something I can get by with. And then at Pro Kick one day, a coach just randomly said to me, hey, Archie, can you do a kick on your right foot? And I was thinking, what's the point of that? I mean, as long as the ball goes far and high, does it matter? And then I kind of learned the ins and outs as to why it can be useful, and I nailed those two, the two that he asked to see, and that made a good impression, and then been practicing it ever since and using it in the system.
How closely did you watch Tory Taylor at Iowa and what he's doing now? And you came from the same, is it a high school or private school?
Look, I didn't really look just specifically at Tory Taylor. I mean, there's a lot of Australian punters that are over there. I mean, I could name multiple from the same school as me. I didn't really have just one person who I wanted to be. Like, I was kind of like, this is my journey. I see a lot of other people doing a similar thing, but I wanted to create my own path and do it for myself. And then, Tory Taylor, like seeing him at Iowa and succeeding heaps, it's kind of like, it's a goal that you kind of want to reach a level like him, but it's not like I wanted to be Tory Taylor.
Did you ever have anybody from Pro Kick like Tory or Brett Thorson who were in college ahead of you and talk to them at all? Get the lay of the land of what to expect or anything like that?
Not necessarily those guys. I had a friend who was at high school more recently who actually now punts at Rutgers, and he was someone who was really helpful because he was sort of getting ready to leave as I showed up, and he was someone, his name's Jacob, he was someone who was really helpful in getting me comfortable as I was starting out, because like I already knew like I was pretty good at the thing, but it was always find that next level of being comfortable and knowing where to be and just not overthinking, and he's been really good. And even throughout getting ready to come over here, there has been plenty of people who have been great for advice, but he would be the main one.
Are you anticipating?
Were you able to learn every single name on the team already? That was one thing, Coach. And then did you really get up and sing Piano Man in front of the entire team at like a skit or talent show?
Yes, I did. Learning every name. I mean, I kind of sometimes think of myself as just a normal person on the team, but a lot of people, I'm assuming, just because I have a slightly different voice, kind of sometimes come up and say like, "Hey, mate," or something like that. And I've had a lot of interactions with everyone, but I mean, everyone on the team is super nice, welcoming. They want the best, and no one's like neglecting coming up and seeing you because they know there's no point not knowing your teammates, and then eventually over time you just learn the names, and it's really good to walk past someone and be like, I know who that is, and I'm not confused when I walk past any people now, which is good. And the piano man thing, all the freshmen during the team meetings have had to go up and sing a song, but there's no lyrics and there's no singing in the background, so it's just the instrumental, and I went up and smashed it, I'm not going to lie. Right now, I don't know about that. Maybe in the future.
Said that you are like his favorite player to watch at practice now. He never really cared for special teams before, but he loves watching you. What does that mean to hear that from your head coach?
Yeah, it's awesome. It makes me feel so much more comfortable at training and practice, and not knowing like, oh gee, I'm on edge here. I want to make sure like I do something and Coach Rule sees it, but it's been good, like getting to know Coach Rule. My first week here, like I start to see him around, I'm like, oh, that's the head coach, that's great, and then I've progressed, and now I think I have a really good relationship with him, and it's good to hear something like that, and it just makes you feel more like I don't have to necessarily try and prove who I am as a person. I can just keep doing what I'm doing and keep getting better and not try to do anything fancy just so I can get his attention.
What are you anticipating in terms of just how that first football game is going to go for you, given the setting and given your background?
I'm really excited. I don't normally get too nervous when it comes to things. I mean, this is a whole different level, but I'm more excited. I mean, the huge crowd, Arrowhead, Thursday night. It doesn't get much bigger, and I'm excited to go out there. I mean, ideally, I don't have to punt much if our offense is doing well, but if they do need me to come on the field, I'm really excited to go out there and kick some.
It's been so far with South Stadium at Memorial, what they've told you about kind of some of those swirling winds as well.
Yeah, over the summer it was massive going into the stadium. I think probably 4 times a week with Coach Ma, Brett, just getting in extra work and practicing as much as we can in the stadium and getting used to it. Look, it swells a bit, and I mean, obviously sometimes you've got to adjust to that if you're going into it, but when it's behind you, yeah, it can be very fun. It can help out a lot, but I mean, I'm not changing my kick too much against the wind, and Coach Ma always says to me, like, don't let the wind beat your best ball. Like, I'm still kicking my ball, and if the wind wants to try and affect it, it can try, but I got to kick it as if there's nothing there.
He impacted your ability to adjust to him, being, have you played at this stadium and then of course in the NFL too?
He's been awesome. I mean, I wasn't even too sure on if there was Brett before I came. I kind of, when I first landed here, he took me and my family out to dinner, which was lovely, and was like, okay, is this guy like a full-time coach, or is he just an ex-player? And then he's been there every day since, and he's been huge. Like, he obviously played here, he's a big part of the mental game. Like, we've run through process of, like, when I'm going out to my spot, like, what am I thinking, what am I focusing on? And it's good to have someone who's just played at the highest level and has dealt with these situations to make you feel more comfortable, and with necessarily my technique stuff as well. He's been huge at just finding the little things to get better at.
Coach Eck and Coach Rule mentioned your family and how close you are to them. You're living all the way across the world from them. Are you 18, 19, or how old are you?
I turn 19 tomorrow. So I'm 18 right now.
So what's it like being first time you're away from them?
Yeah, that part's hard. I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, I love them a lot. Yeah, I've got 2 little brothers and a mum and dad, and yeah, that's the tough part about being here. I love them a lot and I miss them, but it's I mean, they know this is what's best for me, and it's good. I can still talk to them plenty over the phone, and they're coming here to see the first few games, so I'm looking forward to that.
Thanks,
Thanks, guys. Great meeting you all.
Thank you.